The thing about really wealthy people, most of them, I will say.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
I want to kind of wrap this up into your third topic, which is about being relentless. Cold calling for us, that is like the epitome of being relentless, but you're in finance, so you're not going to get that much credit because it's how you were built. They designed you finance guys in a laboratory of cold calling, and they were like, this is what you're meant to be, a little go out into the world. So but everything you've spoken about, it's like, I just fucking did it. I did the work of a hunter. So explain why being relentless is your third secret to success.
Yeah, I appreciate you kicking that question off the way that you did, because you're absolutely right, dude. You can either cry with laughter or you can cry yourself to sleep because you don't know what the hell to do in this business. And if that's the latter for you, you really better question your morals, values, and why you're doing what the hell you're doing, right? Everybody has bad days. I have bad days. My wife has bad days. My agents have bad days, right? There's not going to be every single day, week, month, year that's just perfect, right? And that you can parlay into life. And that's what I find so, I don't want to say rewarding always, but I listened to Jocko Willink recently. He came to Tulsa and spoke, and he's got a big headline that says discipline equals freedom, right? Life's going to throw a lot of shit at you, and you can unpack and determine how you're going to read that. And real estate is no different, right? You're going to have rejection. You're going to have the days you're going to get your head kicked in, like we were talking about the first part of the interview here. And for me, I don't know how it really became or when it became ingrained in my life, right? I grew up on a farm, had a solid family, hardworking family, just, Midwestern core values. You can call it what it is. And little by little did I know, as I was getting older and wiser and more mature in my life, that, there was reasons why mom always bitched at me about making my bed and keeping my room clean. There was always reasons why my grandfather always said that, you know what, your mind will only limit you to what you can believe you can do. And just all those little nuggets of knowledge that, we're starting to accumulate in life. And real estate, fast forward, jumping into the real estate career that I have, I jump in and I'm 110% in. I'm committed. I'm relentless, right? That is where I am going to come from at all angles. The word relentless didn't really ingrain or sink into me until I read Tim Grover's books. I don't know if you all have read Tim S. Grover's books, the coach that Michael Jordan had for many, many years. And it's cliche, you can bring the SEAL teams and their discipline into it. But man, when you start looking at the psychology and the facts of life and the relentlessness and the discipline that is brought in and the habits, it's like you've got two options. You can not do it and meander your way through this shit and be half-ass okay, or you can be disciplined, focused, and fucking relentless and get the results that you eventually deserve. And, I use that word deserve loosely because you can get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? You don't know how things are really going to shake out for you, but I can tell you what, I'm going to drive forward as far and as fast as I can and as hard as I can and be freaking relentless. So I share that in a light that you either just have to commit to do it or you just have to not. And if you choose not, then maybe that's not the absolute right path for you.
So I think one of the interesting things about real estate, more than other industries, and the problem I think in the world right now, and this is kind of a bit, I guess, higher level, is that there seems to be a lot of fast money at the moment. And it has been like that for a few years. And I think it's going to get worse with the rise of crypto and this NFT and all this other shite. And it's like there is this mentality around like fast, quick cash. Real estate isn't that game. But here's what real estate is. Real estate is guaranteed money. Like that's the way I've always seen it. Like the way I feel about real estate's water and rock. And it's like you go for a decade and like you'll start to make an imprint on that rock. You go for multiple decades, like you're legacy rich. Like you are rich and your family is going to be rich for generations. And depending on how big you want to take it, really at that point, you've got the skill set to essentially take it as big as you want. You've got all the providers. You can buy as many units as you want. You know how the loan system works. You know how to play the game properly. And I think that what a lot of people get wrong in real estate is they think it's quick money and it's not.
No.
Like, listen, we did 100K in our first 100 days. Like, yes, can you make money fast? Yes, but you've got to be relentless and put in, like, how many hours of work did we do? A lot. But 100 grand's a good chunk of change to make very, very quickly. And it's like, but where real estate really wins is if you look at from now and where you want to be in a decade, you're probably going to be far wealthier than you could ever imagine. Because like it's not linear, it compounds.
Well, it compounds, right? And it's exponentially grows because it's like building a house. The hardest thing that you have to do is dig that fucking hole and pour that foundation. And the moment you start framing the house, before you know it, you got the sheetrock in there, you're laying down tile, you're putting plumbing, electric in, and it's like it starts going rather quickly, right?
You see the results just blossom and bloom. And that's, you know,
you got to be relentless when none of that's there. That's the thing. That's the hard bit. When none of that's there, you got to push like it's there.
Man, you have to have that vision at the end of the day. You have to have that image in your head. That's why vision boards are so powerful, right? Because you have to see yourself already there. Because if you're not kicking, screaming, clawing, and crawling to get to that point, you're gonna lose sight of why the hell you're doing it along the way. And that's where the relentless piece comes. But to add to your point about the quick money today, absolutely. Everybody wants to be an overnight millionaire. They want to be an overnight success. Oh, look at me. I bought Bitcoin and, you know, shit went up to 19,000 or 40,000 or wherever it's at. And I personally, I don't invest in that shit. Like I invest in what I know. That's what Warren Buffett did. That's what all the freaking people that I've worked with in the past that have made hundreds of millions of dollars of net worth to their name or billions of dollars. Like I just emulate what they've done. And I've had personal one-on-one interviews of like, okay, what did you do? And the thing about really wealthy people, most of them, I will say, or at least most of the ones that you will want to spend any time with, they're very, very generous. They're very giving. Most of them will give you their shirt off their back and explaining and helping you get to where they are eventually. And a lot of people are scared of that. And you know, tying that back to, you know, kind of our last bullet point here with being relentless, you can't have the eyeball on the fast money, right? It's a slow grind. It can be a slower accumulation of wealth, but if you know how to work it, you know how to take advantage of the tax benefits, the depreciation, the cash flow, the appreciation, and you position yourself in the right markets, like, you know, your back door is a great place to start, but it may not be the best place, right? I mean, look at other markets around the country right now. Austin, Texas, that might be getting to be an overplayed market, but I still think there's a lot of room for growth. Look at places in Alabama. There are some towns in Alabama you probably want to have on your radar to invest in. Here in Tulsa, once our population, just last year, our metro population crossed 1 million people, and you know, call it like 1,050,000 now today. But the amount of hedge fund money that we are seeing in our single family residential market now, it is way more than ever. And I think it's to hedge inflation, but I also think it's, hey, we're a big enough and a liquid enough market that you're starting to see some of the BlackRock, some of the, you know, larger Goldman institutional investors dip their toe in some of these non-main markets,
100%. There's so much room for expansion here. But on that note, I want to
hold on. I have one question. Since we're talking about growing the business fast, before we let you go, do you think there's a way to accelerate and compress time and growth if you are doing internet leads where it's a lot more effective, efficient? Would that be where you would pick as a brand new agent?
Ooh, that's a deep question, man. I think if you are a brand new agent, I do think that you should start looking in that direction. And I think going back to kind of the second point we talked about, not all internet leads are created equal. I will say there are some internet leads that convert faster and better than others. And those are the ones you want to focus on as a new agent, right? So if I can drop any nuggets of knowledge and share any wisdom, it's know your freaking numbers. Like, you are a business as a real estate agent. You're not hey, I can go sell a house and buy a car and some beer and, no, you're a business. Treat it like a business. Talk to your accountant about setting up an S Corp, an LLC, whatever it is you're going to do. Like, treat it like a business. And the second thing is, how do I make money? Right. So that's where that not all online leads are created equal. I think, and I'm not going to speak for everybody because everybody's different, but I think if you can get those two things figured out and you dip your toe in the water with online lead generation as a new agent, you'll start to see and figure out patterns really quick if you're observant and tracking your numbers, that you're like, holy shit, I can put, I always look at our lead generation in the blocks of per 1,000. So every $1,000 I spend in marketing and branding and lead gen, what do I get out of that? And I think it can scale very rapidly, us being proof of that if you have the backbone behind it. So
ultimately, that's kind of where I was getting at, right? So we're big proponents of, doesn't matter what you do one thing, dedicate to it, time or fund wise, financially, whatever that looks like. There's no right or wrong, but there is commitment, hard work, persistency, and consistency that over a long period of time, you have enough data to make an educated decision. So ultimately, run this bitch like a business and not a fly-by weekend warrior. Right. Hoping you're going to sell $40 million in real estate. Look at it, track it, be very, very intentional. And I think on that note, I'll turn it over to you, Andrew.
That's it. Wrap us up. So I want to give the floor to you. What have you got going on? If people want to send referrals your way, you're growing your team, I know if you've got anything else going on, how can people reach out, learn more, whether it's phone, email, socials, website? Let the people know where you're at, man.
I'm gonna throw this out there. A lot of people will probably be like, no, don't do that. But you know what? It's all about giving back. So I'll share my personal cell phone out there. It's 918-932-9931. Probably be in the show notes as well. Text me, drop me a voicemail. I promise I will get back to you. Love sharing and love helping folks. That being said, I am running a company. I am a husband and a father. So there's not as many hours in the day as I would like, but you can also shoot me over email directly, josh@garriggroup.com. Check us out online, garriggroup.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn. Love to connect with everybody and drop some secret sauce and help you all out.
Josh, you've been a legend. Thank you for coming on the show, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode as much as we have interviewing him. And we will see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in gaining access to our course and coaching programs 100% for free, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.